This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so let's learn how to use the layout feature in the Forever TransferRIP. So that's on our top left here. We're gonna go ahead and click layout. And from here, you're just gonna click new job to start your job. And you can call it whatever you would like. Make sure down here for measurement units, you select inches, and then we'll go ahead and click next. And then here's where you're gonna select the image that you would like to work on. This could be multiple images. This could be just one image. I'll go ahead and load in a few images here. And then once the images that you have loaded are the ones you want to work on, we'll go ahead and click next. And then up here, we have to create basically our canvas size. So we'll go ahead and select this, and we can name it whatever we would like. And then here is whatever paper size you're using. That is the paper size you'll type in here. So as you see, I have 11 by 17, but if you were using 8.5 by 11, you can just simply make the changes right here. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it standard on 11 by 17, and then you want your rotation to be at 0. So go ahead and click save. And then in order to start, you're going to have to select the canvas that you just made, and then whatever image you would like to start with. So for the first example, I'm going to go ahead and start with, I'm going to be making a bunch of left chest logos. So I'm just going to load it and hit save so you can kind of see exactly how big your image is when it loads in. As you can see, my image is loaded in at the correct size. What you don't want to do is print edge to edge because the printer itself is always going to choke it in a little bit from left to right. So how we can move that is going to be the bottom features right here is going to be your page position. So where on the page would you like this logo to be? And what I'm going to recommend is just doing 0.3 inches from the top and the bottom. So we put it right in. So now the way to get multiple of these images on the sheet is a little tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. So I'll go ahead and select the image again and load it back. And now I know this image right here is at 0.3, and I want to put this image right next to this on the page. So from the left, I'm going to go, let's just go 4 inches. And then from the top, I'm going to go 0.3. And then hit save. As you can see here, it's overlapping a little bit. So I'll right click on the design, edit page, and I will just make it 4.5. Now it's right next. So now let's go upwards and downwards. As you can see here, we couldn't fit this logo right here. So now we just got to work up and down. So I'll select the image again, load it back over. I know this first image is at 0.3. So I'm going to do 0.3. And then from the top coming down, I'm going to go ahead and start at 4 inches again. As you can see, it's just a little bit overlapping. So I'll right click and I'm going to change this to 5. And now we're directly underneath it. And so I'm going to repeat this step. I know this image right here is at 5 or 4.5 from the left and 0.3 down. And I know this image right here is 5 down. So when I load this one in, I'm going to go 4.5, 5, and then save it. So now we got to go down here, load 2 more images in. So on the first one, I'll go 0.3. And then from the top, I know this is at 5 and this was at 0.3. So I'm just going to go to 10. Hit save. You can see it loaded right under. And then lastly, I will go 4.5 and 10. And we basically successfully just, gang image this logo as many times as we could on our 11 by 17 size sheet. Now from here, you will output it to whatever profile you were printing from. So let's just say I'm using the 8432 in laser dark paper. I will go ahead and select that profile and output it. I'll close the window. And when I load into that profile, it will be the first image right there ready to print. All right, so next, let's go ahead and create a new canvas. Now let's work on resizing and making images bigger and smaller. So up here, select the canvas you want to work with. If I selected this one, my last job just saved. That's why we had to create a new 11 by 17 canvas. I'll select the logo and hit over. And if I hit save, that's how big my image is. So if I right click and edit, you see it is a 10 by 10 size image. Now, if I want to make it smaller, the way to do it is by percentages. So if I want to make it half times, cut it in half, well, I know it's going to be 50% of what my initial size of my image was. So I'll reduce both of them by 50. If I click save, I basically resize it right there. And if I wanted to make it bigger, it'll work the same way. You'll go just say 120% and 120%. And then click save, and you'll see that the image got bigger. For any reason, if you wanted to rotate in here, you can always rotate it. Oh, you saw that I only did 10%. And I can rotate my image. But like I said, so when you're making the image bigger, smaller, we are working on this percentages. So say I wanted this image to be, just say 11 by 11. Well, then I got to go based off percentages. So maybe I'll start at 110. You see I'm at 11. Go to 110 here, 11, and then click save. And that'll save your image as is. And say I wanted to add that left chest logo onto this design. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and click the left chest logo, load it in, and just kind of like we did in the beginning, I will go 0.3, and let's just do 12. You see I added it right there, and now I can add this again if I needed to. So now you're taking real advantage of the entire sheet and not leaving empty space here. So, for example, if you had this one design for the back, but you also knew you had left chest, go ahead and throw those left chest logos in on the bottom, just so at the end of the day, you're saving your costs and getting the most out of that sheet of paper. In the same way I did last time, I'm going to output to the profile that I want to use. Once the green bar stops loading, go ahead and close. And you will see here, it just loaded in right above the other one. And that is the layout feature in the Forever TransferRIP.